Welcome to Learn About Law. My name is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law, and today we're going to talk about changes to Illinois divorce law that occurred in 2016. So one of the changes that occurred in 2016 was eliminating a bunch of grounds for divorce. There used to be 11 different grounds for divorce, including impotence and bigamy, and one of them was irreconcilable differences. And the reason there were 11 different grounds was that if you had a specific grounds for divorce other than irreconcilable differences, you had a shorter waiting period for legal separation. It used to be that if you wanted to get divorced based on irreconcilable differences and didn't have a specific ground for divorce, you had to wait a longer time. Now the waiting period for irreconcilable differences has been shortened to 6 months, and it can be waived by the consent of both parties, so you don't have to have a waiting period anymore. But irreconcilable differences is now the only grounds for divorce. So they did away with having to name a specific grounds for divorce if you wanted a shorter waiting period. Another big change is in the language that courts use to talk about custody and visitation. In fact, they no longer use the terms custodial parent, non-custodial parent, and visitation. Instead, they talk about allocation of parenting time and responsibility. And the reason they do this is to reduce litigation and reduce disputes. It basically softens the blow on the person who would have formerly been labeled the non-custodial parent. They're no longer called the non-custodial parent. The court just apportions out how the parenting time is going to be divided. So it's supposed to decrease disputes over custody issues. The other thing that courts can now do is divide parental responsibility. There's 4 categories of parental responsibility. Medical, education, religious, and extracurricular. And responsibilities for those different zones of parental responsibility can be apportioned to each parent. So one parent can still be in charge of all 4, but if one of them wants to be in charge of how the child is going to be raised religiously and the other parent takes the other 3, the court can divide those parental responsibilities. The next change that we want to talk about is relocation. So if you were if you do have shared parenting time, if one of the parties wanted to relocate, they would have to, and they still do have to go to court if it's outside of a certain scope. So it used to be that if you moved out of state, you needed to get an order from the court if you wanted to relocate with the child. Well, now it's just if you move more than 25 miles, if you live in the Chicago metropolitan area, if you move more than 25 miles away, you need a court order. So you can move out of state as long as it's within 25 miles without a court order. But if you move more than 25 miles away and you live in the Chicago metropolitan area, you need a court order to move. If you live outside of the Chicago metropolitan area, you can move within 50 miles regardless of whether it's inside or out of state without a court order. So they're thinking, in rural areas, you should be allowed to move farther away. So those are the big changes. And again, it's eliminating a lot of the grounds for divorce. It's eliminating the terms custody and visitation and shifting to parenting time and responsibility, and then making it easier for parents to relocate based on mileage, not based on state lines. And the idea behind all these changes is to basically modernize the divorce laws and bring them into line with current modern parenting situations. So if you have any questions or if you'd like to schedule an initial consultation about family law or nearly any other subject, we handle most areas of law here, you can call me at 630-324-6666. If you have questions, you can also leave comments on this post, and I'll usually answer them within 24 hours. If you want to learn more about this or any other area of law, you can go to learn-about-law.com. And we have videos, podcasts, and articles on nearly every area of law. If you want to check out our business podcast where we interview business owners every week about the secrets to their success, you can go to seizeyourbusiness.com. And we have a new real estate podcast called makingrealestatefun.com where we go to fun bars and restaurants in the DuPage County area and interview people about real estate experts about how to be a good real estate investor or a real estate purchaser or seller. So please check that out. I want to thank Tom Weiler from Weiler Studios for doing our video. If you want a video from Tom, go to weilerstudios.com, and that's Weiler with a Y. Thanks so much for listening.